to Story Hour again this morning. We're so glad. Isn't it magic? The electronic world is just magic, isn't it? You can't come to the Story Hour at the library, but we can sure come see you. And we're so glad you're here this morning. We're going to sing a song, but we got a long story today. This is one of Scooter Mouse, my library mouse's favorite stories. You'll have to help me with it, okay? Okay, let's see. What could we sing today? We always have to sing if you're happy. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, well, your face is going to show. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Put your finger in the air, in the air. Put your finger way up there in the air. Put your finger in the air and give it a shake up there with your finger right up in the air. Stick your finger in your ear, in your ear. Put your finger in your ear, in your ear. Put your finger in your ear. Hey, tell me, can y'all still hear when you got your finger stuck up there in your ear? Put your fingers on your cheek, on your cheek. Put your fingers on your cheek, on your cheek. Put your fingers on your cheek, now give them a little tweak when you got your fingers stuck up on your cheek. Take your hand and rub your belly, and moms get the shape just like jelly. Take your hand and rub your belly. I hope yours don't shake just like jelly, but mine shakes just like a bowl of jelly. Now put your hands in your lap, in your lap. But this time, don't let them clap. Put your hands in your lap, but don't let them clap. Just let them sit there quietly in your lap. I tricked you, got you ready for a story.
This sure looks like a long story.
Well, it is a long story. It's Susan Massey's favorite story.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
I tell you what, if you hold the pictures, I got some of the pictures cut out from the book so the kids can see. It was an old book, and we got it cut out so the children can see good, okay?
Okay.
Now then, y'all ready? Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, wiggle your shoulders, wiggle your nose. Now no more wiggles are left, you see, and you can sit still and listen to me. Once upon a time, there was a little old man and a little old lady, and they were very poor. They lived in a little old cabin in the woods, and they were very kind but very poor. But they had a wonderful thing. They had a little bear, and he was the sweetest little bear in the world, a little pet magic bear. And he could do a lot of things. And he helped them a lot because they were an old man and lady and they needed a lot of help. Well, you hold it up, Ma, tell him. He could say his ABCs. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, and Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Let's change it from a cookie to a pot of honey. Can I have a pot of honey, please? Bears like honey. Now he could say his ABCs. Okay, now let's see. The next thing that he would do, he was a good dishwasher. The little old lady had taught him to wash dishes very good. So he was a good dishwasher. And then he could do tricks. Lots of little bears can do tricks. Some of them are even in circuses doing tricks. But he could walk on his front paws and balance himself. It was very good. And whenever the little old man and the little old lady saw him, they said, ooh, that was very good. So he was very good. Now, one day, the man who worked for the king, the courier who came out and told all the people everything that the king desired and everything the king wanted, because they didn't have telephones and all that stuff in the computer back then. So he rode into the clearing in front of the little old man and the little old lady's house, and he blew his trumpet. Now hear this, the king is having a birthday, and everyone who wishes may send the king a birthday present. And then he rode away on his horse. Now, the little old man and the little old lady were really in a dilemma because the king was very good, and he was very kind, and he was a very wise, good king, and they loved him. And they wanted to send him something for his birthday, but they looked and looked. Good gracious, they didn't hardly have enough food to feed themselves and the little bear. They didn't have anything else to send the king. And they felt so sad. They sat down and they said, well, we just don't have anything. They just said that we're just sorry. The little bear saw him, he loved him, and he said, he thought a minute, he said, I know what y'all can do. Y'all can send me, I will be the gift bearer for the king. The little old lady with heartbreak said, oh no, we would never send you to live with the king. We love you too much. The little bear said, no, I'm not gonna live with him. I'm just gonna go be his birthday present, and I can sing the ABCs for him, and I can wash the dishes and give the people in the kitchen a day off, and I can do some bear tricks for him, and then I'll come home to you because I love you very much, and I would never leave you. So the little old lady and the little old man thought about that. They didn't want to do that, but they wanted to send something to the king so bad. So the little old lady said, all right, if you promise you will come back as soon as possible. And the little bear said, cross my heart, raise my right hand, stick my finger in my eye, I promise. So the little old lady washed his little jacket, brushed it, and cleaned it up. And then she wrote a sign that said, happy birthday on a little tag, and she wrote it around his neck. And with sad, sad face, they got the little bear ready to go to the king's palace to be a birthday present for the king. And the little old man said, now listen, son, one thing about the king, he wants you to be on time. If you're going to do anything for him, you must be on time. Don't be late. And the little bear said, I'm not going to be late. I'm going to go right to the back. Now listen, that's the story right there. Now listen to this. Now, the little bear started down the road. And when he did, he sang a happy song. Oh, I am a gift bearer for the king. I'm not going to stop for anything. But he hadn't gone very long before he came to a little circus. And sitting out in front of the main tent was the owner of the circus, and he had on one of those faces like this. Laura had on one time. He was very sad because there was a sign outside of the circus, and it said, read it, everybody, CLOSED. What does that spell? Closed. Not a good thing for a circus.
No.
And the little man came up to him. He said, now see, he's watch y'all. He's forgetting what he said about not being late for the king, see. But see, he has a gentle, loving heart. This is a good thing about him. He said, what's the matter? How come your circus is not working? And the man said, oh my trained acrobat that worked for me, he got sick and he hadn't been able to do tricks, and nobody wants to come to the circus, and I don't know what I'm going to do. The little bear remembered that he could do wonderful tricks, and so he said, he shouldn't have done it, but he did. He felt so sorry for him. He said, well, I tell you what, I could do a lot of really wonderful tricks, bear tricks. I tell you what, I will help you make a sign, and I will work for you a couple times. And so he helped him make a sign, and the sign said, the one and only world famous gift bear. Come one, come all to see his acrobatic tricks today. And when all the people read that, they said, oh boy, the circus is open again. Woo-hoo, let's go. They got a trained bear. I got to see that. And they went, and the little bear did all sorts of wonderful tricks. He swing back and forth on the trapeze. He walked on his front paws. He walked on his hind paws. I think he even did the hokey pokey. He did everything, and everybody said, let's say it. Ooh, ah. Well, it wasn't long before. That was several days. Oh, see, he's getting late. Listen, y'all, he's going to get in trouble. The man that did the acrobatics came back, and he was well. And so the little bear said to the man who owned the circus, well, I have to go now, see, because I'm a gift bearer for the king, and they told me not to be late for anything. I'm kind of late. But anyway, I enjoyed it so much, and I'm so glad everything was fine. And the man who had the circus said, listen, son, if you ever need any help, you just call us. I'll never forget you. See, what you do comes back to you. Now remember, he's done something. Right. Now, he started on down the road singing that song. Y'all help me. Oh, I am a gift bearer for the king. I won't stop for... And he looked up there, and there was this darling little school, and all the children were sitting out front. And he said, hey, y'all, what's the matter? And they said, our teacher's sick.
Oh.
And we can't have school. And he said, well, that sounds like pretty good. Why don't y'all go play? And they said, no, we have to wait till the teacher gets back, and it's going to be a long time, and then we'll have to go to school in the summer. And he said, oh, that ain't fun. You'll be off in the summer. And then he remembered that he knew his ABCs. Listen, y'all, I really Boy, I know my ABCs. And they said, no, you don't. He said, yes, I do, Nanny, I do. Come on, and I'll teach you all your ABCs. And I know your Sunday Mondays. And I know your January, Februaries. And I will learn y'all that while the teacher said, they said, oh boy. And so they all went inside, and the little bear just started ABC, and he taught them, y'all say Sunday, Monday, say it, y'all. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and back again Sunday. And he knew their January. Y'all help us. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And they all learned everything that the little bear knew. And then the teacher got well and came back, and the little bear said, ooh, I better go. I've been here a long time, and I'm going to get in a lot of trouble because I'm a gift bearer for the king. It's having a birthday, you see. And if I'm not there on time, I will be in a lot of trouble. He was already in a lot of trouble. They said, bye. And the teacher said, listen, darling, I will never forget you. Coming in here and teaching those children when I was sick, and that'll just enable us all to get out. The 1st of June, we can have our summer vacation. Listen, if you ever need anybody to help you, you call the children and me, and we will help you. It's a good, he better remember all that. Don't forget that. So now he started on down. This time he could look and he could see the town, the big village up there, and so he was getting really close to the palace, and all of a sudden this man who ran this little inn. Now an inn is an old-fashioned little hotel. This man came out and he said, oh mercy, what in the world am I gonna do? And the little bear, he should never have stopped. See, he's really getting late. But he felt so sorry for this guy. He was so distressed, and he said, what's the matter? And the man said, oh my goodness gracious, my dishwasher didn't get to come in today, and I've got a stack of dishes this high, and I don't know what in the world I'm going to do. I got all these people to feed. And a little bit knew what a good dishwasher it was. And he said, well, I can wash the dish for you. I'll help you out. And the man said, do you mean it? He said, yeah, I will. Listen. When he looked in that kitchen, there was a lot of difference between the little old man, little old lady, and him's dishes, and an inn, a hotel. He got in there and he washed dishes, and he said, well, where's the lasagna pans? I'll wash them too. Bless his heart. If that had been me, I'd have never washed the lasagna pans. But he washed all the dishes, and he washed all the lasagna pans and everything. And finally he got through with it, and he said to him, I'm through. Your kitchen's all shined up. I wiped off the cabinets and everything's ready to go. Oh, that man. He said, listen, son, if you ever need any help, you call me and I will come. I would fight monsters for you. I'll never forget what you do. See that? All these kind of things. That's always the way. You treat somebody good, they never forget you. You treat them bad, they never forget you. Now then, here he is. Look. He's gotten to there's the palace, see all those big banners waving there, and he went up to the door and he knocked on the door, and he said, the door opened by these big soldiers, and he said, what do you want? He said, well, ta-da, I'm a gift bearer for the king on his birthday present. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, your majesty, I'm a gift bearer for you. And they said, well, you're late. The king don't like nobody being late, and we don't like nobody being late, and we're going to take you and put you in the dungeon. And they grabbed him, and he said, oh, let me go, don't do that. And they grabbed him, and they threw him down in the dungeon.
Aww.
Y'all say, oh, poor little bear. And there it was down in the dungeon with one little window. Now, he's down there, he's singing a sad little song. He said, well, I was the gift bearer for the king, but I stopped for too many things. Once I was happy, but now I'm sad. I guess what I did was really bad. The music that he sang went out the window and through the air and up into the trees where the bluebirds heard him, and they said, listen, isn't that gift bear? And they flew over close to the palace and they heard him. Once I was glad, but now I'm saying, they have got gift bear in the dungeon down under the palace where they put criminals, and gift bear's never done anything bad. He's so dear and so kind and so good. we best go around and tell everybody that knows him that the king has thrown Gift-Bear into the dungeon. They were so mad, and they fluttered and they flipped, and they told everybody. Now, the first person that heard him, do you remember? The man who ran the circus heard him. You remember what he said? If you ever need any help, call me. And then the children and the teacher at the school, if you ever had any help, I'll never forget you. And then the man that owned the inn, if you ever needed help, listen, they were all so mad, and there was a whole drove of them. Here they are. Can you get them fixed now? And they went up there, and they knocked on the door. Let me see. Slammed on the door like that, and they said, "Let us in!" There was such a commotion. You never heard such a commotion. And when they opened the door, they all said, "Let us in! We want our friend Gift-Bear." Well, now that woke the king up. Now the king, I told you, he was a wise king. He was a very, very good king. Okay? He was like King David in the Bible. I always liked him. Now, he came down there, and he come down the hall, and he said, "Hey, wait here, what's all the problem? My goodness gracious, look, this little old bear. Hey here, boy, where you from?" And the little bear, he's got off. He said, "Oh, God," he said, I do, Mr. King, sir, your majesty, your honor. Ta-da! You see, I was supposed to be a gift bear for your birthday. Well, where'd you come from? Well, you see, the little man and the little lady that I lived with, they very poor and they didn't have nothing to give. But they let me come. See, I lived with them. They loved me very much. And I told them I would come back, but I come to be, see, I can sing and I can do tricks and I can wash dishes. Now, well, the king was overcome with it. He just thought that was the most wonderful thing. He hugged the little bear and he said, "Listen, son, I'm so sorry about this. You get thrown in the dungeon. I will certainly see that I'll give my guards a good talking to about it. Now, I want to go with you. I want you to show me where you live." And the whole procession now, everybody, the circus clowns, the circus people, the dishwashing, the man that owned the inn, the kids, they all followed Gift-Bear back to where the little old man and the little old lady sitting in. They were so sad. They thought they'd never see Gift-Bear again because he'd stopped all those places and everything. He was a long time. There's a little knock on the door. And they opened the door and they said, "Oh my goodness, what's the matter?" And Gift-Bear said, "It's all right, Mom and Papa." He called them Mom and Papa, even though they really weren't. He said, "Ta-da! This is my friends." And then the king himself came up. They were just, they bowed. He said, "Listen, I want you to know you have the finest little bear in the whole world. And I want you to come and live in my palace with me and let him come live with me." And they said, but we love our home here." And he said, "Well, it looks like you can use a little help. I've got a couple of bags of gold I'm going to send you." And so he sent them some gold. And they didn't ever have to worry about anything anymore.
Wow.
And Gift-Bear and the little old man and the little old lady lived together. But every birthday, Gift-Bear always went to the king, and he was the gift bear for the king. And Scooter Mouse made that sign. It looked like Scooter Mouse's sign. Let me look at it again. I knew it. Let's go. Y'all ready? And they lived happily ever
after.
Woohoo! Was that a good story?
That was a really good story.
I tell you, I always love that story because, you know, it had a really good thought to it. And you folks going to treat you just about like you treat them.
That's right.
That's right. That's the truth. All right, and don't forget that. And thank you so much for listening all the way through that long, long story. Bye-bye. Don't forget to be kind to folks.